I'm Rodney Lawson, and I help management leaders who are under pressure, second guessing their decisions, go from survival mode to being empowered, influential, and thriving. And that's essentially what I do, what I work with right now. I've got about 23 years experience as an executive in the corporate world, working for Fortune 50 companies here in the U.S. And I've taken all of that knowledge and development programs and packaged it. And now I'm on this quest, this convicted quest of teaching leadership and helping people become phenomenal leaders the right way through what I call the four essential values of leadership: love, trust, honesty, and respect.
Can you tell me why it is that you do what you do, why you love it, why it energizes you?
Well, it's interesting. My conviction actually comes from my ACE, my adverse childhood experience. I grew up with an alcoholic father, very abusive, and through that, um, you become very immune to certain things. And for me, it was rejection. You know, at times he was very disrespectful, and that kind of honed certain skills within me that helped me to thrive in the midst of adverse situations. But it also gave me a certain sense of acknowledgement when it came to respecting others. And Sarah, I saw so many people in the corporate world as I was leading just disrespecting people. And I just felt like that was not the right way. At the end of the day, some of the people that were beneath the leaders had much more difficult lives. They didn't make as much money. They had extra bills to pay at times, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And so they would come into the workplace with a lot more pressurized situations than some of the management folks. So why should we allow the management folks to treat them less than? And I was never a big fan of that. And so that's become kind of my convicted passion for doing what I do. And the last thing I'll say this, the last two CEOs I reported to in the corporate world, I just felt like their approach when it came to how they treated people with a lack of respect at times was something that I knew that I needed to make a change in teaching people the right way. And so that's why I do what I do.
Can you give some advice for somebody who wants to go into leadership or someone who wants to do what you're doing?
Absolutely. Anyone that wants to go into leadership, and I'll start here with this, they have to understand who they are first. You have to know who you are. And that is why, whether I'm working with executive coaching a leader who's been in a position for years at the CEO level, or I'm working with someone brand new, I start off with figuring out what are your top five values, things that are very dear to you. Because those are the things that you need to put on the forefront. Those are the things that you cannot get away from. You can't contradict from within, right? So if this is who you are, this is what's eventually going to come out. So you need to know what those things are so that you can manage them better, right? The problem with a lot of people, aspiring leaders, is that we all have blind spots. And if there's no one to coach us, to show us what those blind spots are, then it makes it 10 times harder for us to get to the goal that we're looking to get to, especially if that's to advance in their career.
When there are the inevitable roadblocks that you face in your career and your life, what helps you to move forward, reach your goals, or even just get past the roadblocks?
Very good question, because that goes along with um, that the values that I talked about. After understanding your values, you have to understand your conviction. So think of the goal of where you want to go to. Think of the values as the vehicle, the car that's going to take you there, but think of the conviction as a fuel, right? The more refined fuel you put in that vehicle, the more efficient it's going to run. Okay. And so your conviction has to be something so powerful that no matter what that car is up against, let's say you're riding through a hailstorm or you're riding through a thunderstorm, you have the ability to keep going. The conviction fuels that. Now, for me, what is my conviction? I look at not wanting to live my life like my parents. I look at how my father was extremely disrespectful at times. And I look at other people that I don't like seeing being treated that. That's my fuel behind my vehicle getting me to where I want to go.
Anything else you would like people to know about what you do or what your upcoming business projects are?
I am on the cusp of something great. Two things about me first, before I get into that. I am unapologetic for my spirituality and being emotional. I'm a very emotional person. And that's just who I am and what I am unapologetically. And so after saying that, I will say this. I am starting a membership group called Underneath the Armor. And that is because in our workplaces and as an entrepreneur, we put on this representative, this armor in front of everyone, right? We don't allow them to see what's beneath, even though sometimes it seeps through, but we don't allow them to see what's underneath for fear of being judged. And trust me, you will be judged. I sat at the table as an executive and I've seen people get judged inappropriately. Okay. I'm just going to say it. So in this group, it is a safe space for management, leaders, and entrepreneurs to come in, voice their concerns, and we pour into them. We give them insight, we give them tips, tools, techniques on how they can survive that particular situation or enhance where they are. You might be a well-performing leader in an organization and you just want other tips and tools on how you can get better. Well, I've got, countless principles that I've put into place to help people thrive in the workplace. And so within this membership, it's going to circle around three fundamental pillars from a teaching standpoint. And that's mindset enhancement, number one. Number two, leadership principles. And then number three, something that's really, really important, business acumen for growth. That's where I see a lot of people go wrong because they make decisions that are not conducive to where they want to go. And then later on, they find out that, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that. And so those three things, all the content that I'm going to teach on a monthly basis is going to be centered around a theme with one or all three of those particular principles. And the format is simple. Every single month, I'm going to come in on a Zoom call. I'm going to do a presentation around the theme. I'm going to open it up for Q&A. That's week one. Week two, we're going to do something fun, something light, something engaging for the group to get to know each other a little bit more and support one another and answer questions for one another who may be struggling. Okay. Week three, I'm going to have what I call the Underneath the Armor, or the UTA as an acronym, the UTA couch. And this is where I'm going to invite someone to come in and sit on the UTA couch and take their armor off and share their story, their experience, or a case study that they've gone through, went through, seen, observed around whatever the theme is for the month. Okay. Fourth week, we're going to package this stuff, whether it is in a presentation format, a Q&A, and some type of PDF, and we're going to give it away as a handout for the fourth week. That's the format every single month. Okay. Now, is it subjected to change? Absolutely. But that's going to depend upon the members because I want this thing to be organic, right? It's not, set in stone. That's just how I'm designing it initially. Okay. But I want this to be a living, breathing organization where we thrive on a safe space. We thrive on vulnerability, but we also thrive on supporting one another and helping one another. Okay. And that's a little bit about it, Underneath the Armor.
And if people want to participate, how would they get a hold of you?
Simple. You can shoot me an email, Rodney@RodneyLawson.com is my email. Just reach out and I'll be more than happy to give you a little bit more information, or we can jump on a Zoom call and talk about it, or I can shoot you the link and you can sign.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I hope you have enjoy the rest of your day and have a great week.
Thank you. Certainly my pleasure.
Thanks. All right, we'll talk again.
Okay. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.